Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Chip Ganzler, motivational speaker, inspirational listener, and author of my newest book, Nobody's Perfect, You're a Nobody. I'd like to read to you a story about an inspiring animal that touched my life. I never thought that my life could be so touched by an animal, and that I could touch an animal so much in the process. In my case, it was a special dog named Brewster who really turned things upside down. Brewster belonged to my older, some would say Yeiser, brother Mark. Mark and his wife were going to be traveling for business, and he needed me to look after his dog. You're kidding, right? I said. I couldn't even take care of a houseplant. I had a John Wayne Gacy-sized collection of plant corpses in the backyard and crawl space under the house. Relax, it'll be easy. Just walk him, feed him, and if he gets really out of line, which he won't, just give him a bop on the nose with a rolled-up newspaper. What, like the full Sunday New York Times? Hold on, walk him, feed him, what else? I asked, reaching for a pen in panic. I need to write this down. You're gonna be fine. Even you couldn't screw this up, Mark said, full of brotherly confidence. Look, if things get too crazy, just call me. That's what cell phones are for. No, I don't own a cell phone. I've always been terrified of the contract commitments. But my brother Mark was going to give me his iPhone in case any problems came up. I would have to get over 2 phobias now. Thanks, Mark. Sure thing, Mark. No problem, I bluffed. I think that the silence at the end of that call was the most terrifying sound I'd ever heard, and I was in the Iraq War for 3 tours of duty. When Brewster finally arrived, I was shaking. Mark's wife, my ex-wife Marlene, dropped him off early in the morning. Brewster, do you like Chip? She asked the animal. I half expected him to answer politely. It seems that talking to your dog was a normal thing for Mark and her to do. Brewster, do you think Chip needs to grow up, get a life, and pay me regular alimony payments? Now, arguing over the divorce settlement is a little game that Marlene and I would play from time to time, although she always brings it up and I've never won. Okay, I chuckled. He's not a family court judge. After a few more minutes of civilized talking where no bitter accusations took place, Marlene slammed the door and was gone, and it was just me and Brewster. It was the moment of truth, and I was petrified. I think I still have blisters on my phone dialing fingers from calling Mark so much. Brewster liked to dig. And bury things, and chew, and chew, and chew, and chew, and chew, and chew. I think in the first hour, Brewster chewed through my throw pillows, my latest manuscript, and my good top hat. I had to interrupt the recording sessions of my high-pitched flute album and my homemade beef jerky butchering just to get him to settle down. The disciplining with the newspaper advice that Mark had given me came in very handy. How else was I supposed to get Brewster to wake up? Although when he finally calmed down enough to sleep, you could have hit him with an unabridged dictionary and he wouldn't so much as budged. I should know, I tried several times. When are you coming back? I asked Mark over the phone for what must have been literally the billionth time. Well, I'm kind of held up here. It's going to take longer than I anticipated, he said. It looked like my nightmare wasn't even close to over. He's probably restless. He needs to run around, my neighbor said. By some incredible stroke of luck, the man who lives in the studio apartment next to mine is a dog breeder. Or he's looking for some female activity, he winked at me. For a stud fee, I can get him out to impregnate some of the bitches in the area. And if that doesn't work, he can take a crack at the female dogs that they own. It was a generous offer, but one I'd have to consider. I gave him my credit card information and Mark's iPhone just in case. Eventually, Brewster and I became friends, and I saw him become a great, majestic creature who wasn't above digging in the neighbor's garbage. And we found a great playgroup with other dogs his own age. I was surprised at how much I fit in with the other owners. Sometimes we just sit back, crack a few jokes, drink liquor out of bottles wrapped in paper bags, and place a couple of friendly bets while our dogs would wrestle with each other until one was too exhausted to continue. I was surprised that Brewster, a well-groomed golden retriever, could get along so well with a pack of scruffy pit bulls and Rottweilers. I give Mark credit for raising Brewster to not be a snob. But he was a very playful dog, who outplayed even a St. Bernard who it looked like had a nasty habit of getting into his owner's toothpaste. When we got home that night, I gave Brewster a surprise. All the chocolate he could eat. I felt myself getting attached to Brewster, and as he settled down on his patch of straw that night and drifted off to sleep, whining with pleasure, I knew that maybe I'd been wrong about becoming attached to an animal. Some people like dogs, some people like cats. I even heard about a man who had a 6-foot tapeworm taken from his intestines. He claimed that he didn't want it there, but I know if you feed, walk, and sleep with any animal, it's inevitable that you form some kind of bond. Brewster died shortly after this story takes place, from mysterious circumstances. Mark and Marlene want to investigate what happened, but I'd rather let sleeping dogs lie, if you'll pardon the pun. Hey, I just got that. And I know my time with Brewster was short, but it was great, and I can honestly say, it was the best afternoon of my life. For more inspirational stories, check out my latest book, Oops! A 35-Step Journey Through Your Failures. I'm Dr. Chip Ganzler. And remember, angel dust ruins lives.